It's early in the morning here in the Karen's house, but I wanted to make this tutorial for you so that you could build your walls up. Hello, my talented artists. Subscribe. We are ready to build some walls today. So you're going to take your base out of the bag, put your bag somewhere safe, and we are ready to begin. Let's put this someplace where we won't hurt it. Put it way up here. You're going to get another piece of clay. And again, how do we start our coils? Anybody remember? Go ahead and just shout it out. Right, so we squeeze it to make a pickle shape or eventually a hot dog shape. A hot dog shape without the bun. I'm gonna actually even squeeze it with both hands. And how do we roll out our clay? You guys remember?
They probably forgot.
Yes, so we are gonna start with our fingertips on the clay and we're going to make a V shape. So we're going to slowly go up all the way till the clay is touching the palms of our hands, and then bring the clay back up here like that. And the goal is, we didn't want that string wrapping around our coil. And the goal is to have the clay to be a little bit thinner than your finger, a little bit thinner than your finger. And paying attention to where it feels thick. Press a little tiny bit harder there as you're rolling it out. And aim. I'm sort of putting my finger on a thick part and avoiding the thin part. You really have to look at your coil as you're making it. And if you see any cracks, smooth those cracks out. Doing my zigzag now that it's getting a little thinner. Don't go too fast. I found that it gets flat, a little bit flat if I try to roll out my coil too fast. It will stretch out if you're moving your fingers away from each other. Here we go. Oop, look. This little string wants to wrap around my coil, and I do see some cracks, so I'm going to smooth those. The way to keep your clay from getting dried out is don't touch it unless you're actually going to be making your coils. Just wait until you're going to be making your coils. Don't hold it and touch it and mash it. Don't do any of those things. Just make a coil. This is not Play-Doh. We do not want to create air bubbles. And that, when we play with it and mash it and do all that, it creates air bubbles. If your clay has an air bubble in it, there is a chance, pretty big chance, that it will break in the kiln. So please don't do that. And that seems pretty good. Now we're ready to attach it to our base. So you're going to dip your toothbrushes into some water or slip, and you are going to just scrub around the outside. The reason why you're not scrubbing on the inside of your base is that you're not going to attach clay to the inside. That's going to be open. When you scrub, you're actually scoring your clay. Whenever you want to attach two pieces of clay, you must score and slip. It's a little bit of layer of slip because wet clay is called slip, and slip kind of glues clay together, but we have to do the other piece of clay too. So we need to use our toothbrush to just scrub. Let's use the art vocabulary, score. We're going to use our toothbrush to score one side of our coil. Now, we want the part that we scrubbed on the coil to touch the part that we scrubbed on the base. So we are going to press that down. So we're just picking up the coil and pressing it down on. We don't want to smash it. We just want to press it down. Press, press, press. You're going to get to the point where the coil began, and you can just go right on top. However, you have a top here that has not been scored with your toothbrush. Just add a little water and you're creating slip. So you are scoring and slipping. And then continue to press the sides. Just building those sides up as tall as I want them to be. I am at that place where I need to score the top with a little water, dip it in, score, score, score on the top, and I'm ready to keep building up my walls. Okay, so I wanted to show you one more way to build a wall. Coils are versatile. That means you can do lots of different things with them. You already know how to make a spiral with your coil. If you want to, you can make a spiral and you can cut it and you can build your wall with that. You can also make a double spiral by rolling your coil up into a spiral halfway and then rolling the other side up. It has this nice little triangular shape in the middle. You can have holes in the walls of your coil pot. It's quite decorative. So now to add this, what do I need to do? Anybody remember? If I wanted to add this, it's going to fall off if I don't do it. Besides pressing, what do I need to do? I'm going to score and slip a little bit. This is nice wet clay, so I don't need to go overkill, but I'm just going to score a little bit, and then I might even score these two together. So now I'm going to press these together. Always work on your mat because then you can press a little bit and it doesn't stick. It sticks to the table. Sometimes you might roll a little bit of coil on the table, but other than that, stick to your mat. So I'm going to press down gently but firmly to make sure that my coils become part of the structure. So I have one. Well, I could just keep it like that, or I could shape them into triangles or squares or anything I want. So I'm going to shape this one. You just shape things by pressing it with your fingers. Now I'm going to put that one next to the other one. Always make sure that you do everything that's going to touch. Press them together. Press these guys together. Now, I can feel that as I'm pressing, the wall kind of is pushing out because my clay is wet. And when clay is wet, it's weak. The more water you put on it, the weaker it gets. So I'm just going to carefully make sure that my walls are not falling apart. I want them to be standing up. As I'm working to finish the walls, I notice that these two pieces aren't really connected great. So I'm just going to gently press them together. I could even weld them a tiny bit. I still want to be able to see the coils because that's a decorative part. I have one more space here to fill, and it looks like it really can't fit a double. So I made one big one. But I decided, because I have these circle spirals and I have a triangular spiral, that I thought I would make a square spiral. So another thing you can do to shape clay is gently tap it on your mat. That looks pretty good. Let's see if it fits. Looks pretty good to me. So I think it's okay. I might make it a little skinnier, more rectangular. Okay, and I'm just going to make sure I score and slip all the sides that are going to touch another piece of clay. That makes it strong. And you have to score and slip both pieces of clay that you're trying to attach as we're attaching this on. And now I'm just gonna slide. Oh, I made it too skinny. Well, guess what? I can fix that. Make it a little fatter. It's starting to look like a trapezoid. That's a cool shape. But I am going to just little bit of welding these two pieces together. And you could always do that on the inside of your pot, where you don't see very much. I am adding a coil on top of all those nice spirals to strengthen the walls of my pot. And then when I get to the other end, I'm going to cut it just a tiny bit bigger and then kind of fit it in there. Just kind of press it together. One last thing. If you cannot fit your coil pot into your bag, I can't fit it in anymore. It won't fit without smushing it. You have to be done. You gotta finish it. You will probably finish these today, build up this nice pot, and we'll fire it, let it dry and fire it. Then we get to glaze it.